Joe Biden's lying again. He says the border is closed, but his administration actions imply otherwise. The administration now paying $87 million to give to illegal migrants free hotel rooms after they're caught crossing the border. Joining me now with reaction, America First legal founder and former White House senior advisor, Stephen Miller. So, Stephen, why are they being put in the hotels to begin with?
This is a very important point. They are not being put in the hotels as a staging ground for removal, which is how hotels were used in the past, albeit sparingly. The hotels are being used as reception and welcome centers. The contract you're referring to, which is now under investigation, because the individuals involved in setting it up were also tied to the transition, equates to $350 per illegal migrant per day. They may as well give this contract to the Four Seasons and save the taxpayers money. How many people right now that serve this country honorably in uniform are having trouble, people that served in Vietnam, people that served in the Gulf War, they're having trouble paying their housing bills, while you have illegal immigrants getting $350 per day in free housing services before being flown to their destination or by bus brought to their destination of choice inside America?
Yeah, so you said this is just a welcome center. So they're just giving them breakfast and processing them? Like, what is actually going on? Why do they need a room to welcome them?
It's a great question, because you might ask, why wouldn't they just, if they're going to do that, why not just release them right out of the border? Part of it is purely for appearance sake. DHS assumes that reporters from most outlets aren't going to follow up to the next stage of the process. So they figure, well, if we don't release them right here at the border, there's not going to be cameras, there's not going to be visual, so we bring them just a little bit further into the interior, out of public view. That's a big factor here. The second reason is because the local communities will be up in arms if everyone gets released there. So they try to distribute them all around the country. Again, that's a PR thing. That's just to help with optics. The third reason why is because it does take a little bit of time to line up funding, sometimes through NGOs, non-governmental organizations, to get these illegal migrants onto buses or planes to the next stage of travel. So for all those reasons, none of which are virtuous, it's pushed off into hotels.
Interesting. Now, the secondary point, because this is important. The person that's getting the contract worked on the transition. Now, we were promised normalcy. We were promised to return to business as usual. Oh, that's right. Business as usual is the people that are well connected to the politicians get the contract.
Yeah, I mean, this is just outrageous. Honestly, having worked on a presidential transition, having worked, obviously, at the highest levels of the White House, this would never happen when Donald Trump was president. Never, ever, ever would this have happened. In fact, President Trump would have made sure, if we were doing a contract, it would be the person with the best experience, with the most efficiency, and the best savings for the taxpayer. This group doesn't even have any experience working with ICE. As best we can tell, they have no clue what they're doing. This looks absolutely, on its face, it looks corrupt. And I'll say one more thing, which is that this is about whether or not this country has a border. Paying for expensive hotel-based welcome centers for illegal immigrants is categorically insane. There's no other word for it. It is actually insane. No country that wishes to survive would ever voluntarily adopt a policy. That's why my group, like this, that's why my group, AF Legal, is fighting back against this lawlessness. You can find out more at aflegal.org. But it would be like if President Biden came into office and announced in the first week, hereby immediately, the U.S. military is dissolved. You don't, as a president, have the right to decide which aspects of our national defense exist and which are erased.
Apparently they do, because they're leaving it on states like Texas to defend this border. The people of Texas don't pay taxes to secure the border. That's not their job. It's up to our national government to do that. And the fact that they're not doing it is just sad. Anyway, thanks, Stephen, for joining the program.
It's an outrage.
today.
Thank you.